It's Tuesday night. You know what that means? That's right. WrestleMania review, Paul Heyman review, and so much more. I have nothing funny to say, so here's a Hall of Famer.
Yo, monkeys, it's me. It's DDP. That's right, Diamond Dallas Page, the king of bada bing, the master of the diamond cutter, the three-time world champion, WWE Hall of Famer, and founder and CEO of DDP Yoga. And baby, it is time for the Towers of Powers, the men of the hour. I'm talking about my main men, the men with the plan. I'm talking about Whiskey Pro and the Brews, baby. And we're bringing you the best in beerskis and whiskeys from the greatest city in the world, Dallas, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, can you dig that, baby? These guys are going to make you boys feel the bang. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
A long intro, but I still love it. He talks for like an hour. What is going on, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. What have you been up to?
Oh,
It's
man,
been a minute.
It has. It really has. We had every intention of going live this weekend, and that is 100% on me. And I've apologized to Bruce about 100 times already. I had every intention of going live Sunday for live reactions for Cody Rhodes, but
I'm glad we didn't. It allowed us to actually enjoy the pay-per-view.
you know what? And you're right, because I got to think about it. I was like, man, I'd been out in the yard working for the last 2 days. I was tired. I was beat. And I didn't have the energy just to, come on here. And whether you think so or not, podcasting, man, you have to have some energy to do this. I know podcast nights, I love doing it and I enjoy doing it. But when I get off, I'm just like, ugh. So, I apologize we didn't go live, but it is what it is. We got to enjoy it, as Bruce said, and holy crap, so much to talk about. We're going to get into the Cody Rhodes stuff, and I told Bruce this before the show. I didn't want to bog down the whole show with just Cody Rhodes because there was so much other stuff to cover. You had the Paul Heyman stuff. I really want to talk about the Paul Heyman thing, the Hall of Fame. But Bruce, man, what is up? What have you been up to, man? What did you do this weekend?
Absolutely a whole lot of nothing, man. Me and kiddo watched the first season of Fear the Walking Dead.
There you go.
We had already seen the the flagship show Walking Dead, but he had never seen Fear, so we're like, all right, well, we finished everything else. Let's start this one. So we binge watched that one and just played games, and I watched wrestling, man.
Cool. Did you y'all still watching Resident Alien, or did y'all give up on that yet?
No, we picked it back up.
Did you?
Yeah, we're midway through season 2, I believe.
Okay, all right.
They just no spoiler, but they found the baby alien.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Season 3 is here. No spoilers, but it's
Really?
It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. I've seen a lot.
It's starting to lose me a little bit.
Yeah, I understand that. Now I will say this: season 1, season 2 finales, I love them. I'm a sucker for a good season finale. So if you can have a good season finale, and I went through all that crap and I watched all your bad episodes, I'm looking at you, Supernatural. If you can keep me hooked with a season premiere or season finale, you've got me hooked. Now, if you have a really bad season finale, I'm never watching you again. So, but no, I've enjoyed it. Like I said, this season's kind of been up and down a little bit. They've had a couple good episodes, a couple of really. But before we get to wrestling, we got to talk beer because we are a craft beer podcast and a wrestling podcast. What are you drinking tonight, Bruce?
I'm doing the strawberry shortcake ale, golden ale from Community.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, not too bad.
I got two beers I'm drinking here. The first one I'm sipping on right now is the Shiner Hill Country Peach Wheat. It's a seasonal beer, 4.5 alcohol by volume. It is the Shiner Peach Wheat beer. It's okay. It's a Shiner. I'm not a big Shiner guy. Never have been. So I figured I'd try something different. You know, I said this last week. I went to Kroger, got me a 6-pack, and just kind of rifling through them as we do the shows and stuff. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I know I say that about a lot of beers, but nothing really stands out to me. It wows me. It has that when you first take that sip, you get that peach flavor, but then there's an aftertaste of just like bitter beer. So it's really sweet, and then soon after that, it's just bitter beer.
Gotcha.
But man, wow, what a weekend! We started it off, and I want to start off by saying this: we started it off with Paul Heyman into the Hall of Fame, and he was the first one to acknowledge that this era is officially the Paul Levesque Triple H era, and this WrestleMania was his brainchild, more so. You know, he for the most part, I mean, of course, to help with the writers and the wrestlers, he put this thing together. And I gotta say, man, so night one, we'll get more into WrestleMania in a minute, but night one, they kind of had me, they kind of lost me, they kind of had me, they kind of lost me. It was kind of back and forth, but I think part of that, honestly, when I look back on it now and after hearing everything that I've heard, I think a lot of it was the crowd. The crowd wasn't that into it because it was like 40 something degrees.
Yeah, they were pretty cold, man.
It was outside, so the crowd wasn't into it, which, you know, made the moves for the payoffs. The crowd has an effect. If you're watching on TV, the crowd has an effect. Night two, however, man, that crowd was popping, and it was fun joy to watch.
I enjoyed night one more than I did night two.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay.
All of the matches that were on night one, I legitimately wanted to watch from start to finish. There's not one card on night one that I was like, meh. Whereas on night two, you had, you know, the 6-man tag with Bobby Lashley and fucking Karen Cross. You know, that 6-man tag. I wasn't, you know,
that was the only one I really had no interest in watching. And the whole card, that was the one match I was just like, I like the Street Profits. Like, I don't have anything against them. It's not really my thing, right? Bobby Lashley's cool, but I mean, I grew up in a generation of big guys, and I've seen the big guy thing so many times. Like, how many times can you see Bobby Lashley powerbomb a guy? You know, of course, people can argue, well, how much can you watch Stone Cold Steve Austin stun somebody? 1,000,002 times because I enjoy it. Shut up. Leave me alone, Mark. But I really did enjoy the whole thing. Night one, I had to go back and watch because I didn't get to see a lot of it live. I wasn't home for some of it, but night two, man, I really liked it. There was some, if you want to get picky, there was little things like the Bayley match at the end. I felt like the Bayley match kind of teetered off a little bit toward the end, but I think it was just they were tired. That's what I'm going to mark it up as this. They were tired between travel and the week, you know, the long ass week they had. The other one that I really did not enjoy at all was, well, not the match itself. The ending was the Logan Paul match. I felt like RKO kind of
saw that coming.
You kind of saw where it was going, right? And you're right. You did see where it was going. But the way that, if you go back and you watch that at the end, he throws Randy Orton out of the ring. I felt like they just kind of phoned that in. Like, this is Randy Orton. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's the legend killer. And you're going to tell me Logan Paul throws him between the first and second rope and he's just on the floor just dying while Logan Paul gets a 1, 2, 3 count?
Yeah.
Maybe there was a miscue somewhere. Maybe they messed something up. I don't know, but that was really my two biggest gripes about the whole thing. But let's get into Paul Heyman at the Hall of Fame. I have to say there are 3 of my favorite Hall of Fame speeches ever. And I've been watching the Hall of Fame since I can remember, since it's been on TV. The 3 that I have, and I'm kind of biased because 2 are my favorite wrestlers and one of them is my favorite manager. So the first one being Stone Cold's, because I love that promo package they cut for his Hall of Fame speech was amazing. You know me, I'm a big sucker for a promo package. The second one was The Undertaker's, because he got the whole hour to sit there and talk about his career. He needed the whole hour. It was 30 years, right? And then the third one was Paul Heyman, because, man, I tell you what, when that crowd came alive, they started chanting at the beginning, right when he got there, that, you know, you deserve it. And he was like, you damn right I do. And I just thought that was the perfect cap to a perfect career. And I know he's not done yet, but just to put the cherry on top for the Hall of Fame and having the career he did. And look, you say what you want about Paul Heyman. I know his character is a total weasel and a snake and a douchebag and blah, 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 blah. But Paul Heyman, the person, I believe, saved professional wrestling. I really honestly think that with ECW. He turned the wrestling world upside down, and WWE, other places kind of started taking from that. Now, they weren't extreme like ECW, let's be honest, but just the way that they were run, right? They started listening to the wrestlers a bit more. They started doing things different. You started having more cage matches, more street fights, more Falls Count Anywhere. You had Stone Cold Steve Austin, who arguably saved WWE in the mid 90s. He was at WCW, then went to ECW, and then came to WWE. You had Bubba Ray Dudley, who got his start there. You had Tommy Dreamer, who got his start there. You had RVD, who got his start there. I mean, so there's a lot of Hall of Famers. He worked with guys like Mark Calloway, The Undertaker. He was taught by Dusty Rhodes. You talk about coming full circle, a guy taught by Dusty Rhodes, and then his son wins night 2 at WrestleMania. How is that not, like, you gonna tell me the stars didn't align somehow, somewhere? I mean, it was too much. What's the word I'm looking for? Too much of a coincidence. Just you say what you want. It was God's plan. It was the stars aligned. I don't care how you word it, how you put it. It doesn't matter. The fact is, it was amazing, and I love the speech. What about you, man?
Yeah, I really dug the speech. I was very shocked that they inducted him first. I would have thought that he was the headliner and would have gone last, but for the most part, I liked it. I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of helped that I watched the Heyman documentary on Peacock maybe like a day or two before the Hall of Fame.
Dude,
So I already had a lot of it in my memory, but yeah.
I did the same thing. But no, it was, man, I really did. I enjoyed it. And I love, I'm a big softie for personal moments in Hall of Fame speeches and stuff like that. And the way he addressed his kids, the way he addressed Cody Rhodes, the way he addressed Paul Levesque. That was kind of a tip of the hat to Triple H, saying, welcome to, you've built this. And I'm going to get more to it in a minute with Stephanie on night 2. But I think that was the beginning of WWE basically saying without saying, Vince is gone. He's not here anymore. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. I just feel between that and then Stephanie come out and saying, my husband is the sole, runner of this company. I felt like that was kind of read between the lines thing of, hey, Vince McMahon's not here anymore. He's not coming back. This is Paul Levesque now.
Yeah.
And I'm all over the place, and I know we all know how my mind works by now. Watching Friday night or Monday Night Raw last night, the first Monday Night Raw completely solely under Paul Levesque, I caught myself twice. Once, and then both times it was the NXT fights that happened. For years, we've been screaming about bring in new talent, bring in new talent, bring in new talent. This is to let you know that wrestling fans, we don't know what the hell we want. That includes me. I'll throw myself in the mix. I've been screaming for years. We need new talent. We need new talent. We need new talent. They brought in new talent last night, and that new talent absolutely rocked the boat. The crowd loved it. And the next day on social media, wrestling fans, those NXT guys suck. What? You've been screaming for years, bringing new talent. Well, what do they do? First Night Raw with Paul Levesque in it, and what do? You bitch about it. You don't know
I
what
really
you want.
like the I really like the Russian guy from NXT. He's the champion right now.
He's got a unique style. I didn't
Yeah.
hate it. I didn't love it. I want to see him and Gunther.
Yeah.
Now I know
Well,
Gunther.
they mentioned something that it was either just downright said or maybe they hinted at it. But there's a chance of him being in the draft and going to the main card away from NXT. Because later on in the show, I think Michael Cole or someone said I don't know, they said something specifically about NXT. Anyone can go to or NXT or who can go back to NXT. Something along those lines that they're going to be involved in the draft.
Wow. Okay.
I have my notes here somewhere. Let me see.
I'm glad one of us does notes.
I took notes.
Not my dumbass. I always do the same thing. Oh, I'll make a mental note because I remember everything. The problem is I remember everything 6 months from now. Like I'll make a note of it today, and then in 6 months when I'm eating dinner, oh, I remember what it was. But WrestleMania night 1, Triple H came out, thanked the crowd, kind of welcomed into new era. First match, we had Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. Now, you had Rhea winning this one, and I had Becky winning this one.
Yeah. I think that match ended a little too early. I legitimately think that either she was too sick to really perform or Becky Lynch, or she somehow got injured. You saw them talking to each other occasionally, like that last 5 minutes of the match.
Mm-hmm.
I think Becky gave her the green light to let's wrap it up early.
I'm not too sure about that, and I'll tell you why. So I picked Becky on pure fan. I wanted Becky to win. I don't know why. It's not because I dislike Rita. It's nothing like that. She is a young and upcoming talent. She is the head of the women's division. No pun intended. She really is. But I was pulling for Becky, and I thought she had a lot of momentum, and maybe I just didn't read between the lines enough. She's talked about her daughter more than once. Seth has talked about his daughter more than once. So maybe they want some time off to kind of, just go be a family for a little bit and be normal, whatever that is, right? She had strep throat. She was 102 degree fever.
Now, do we know if that was legitimate or not?
No, it was 100% legit. She was sick. She had strep throat.
Okay.
Rhea Ripley, apparently right before she walked through the curtain, she had a panic attack. I didn't know that. Like right before she went on stage with the band that was singing her on, she had a panic attack.
Oh, wow.
So, again, you factor in the cold. I mean, you're fighting with strep throat, cold, out in the outside. There's a lot of factors to go into that. My hat's off to both of them. Did I think it was the cleanest match? No, but I mean, it had some real intense moments. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I really honestly thought Becky was going to win that. I thought she had a lot of momentum going into WrestleMania, and the promos that she was cutting was great. And I was just like, I don't see a whole lot of reasons why she wouldn't. I didn't take into consideration Rhea Ripley is only like 25. She still has her whole career ahead of her, right?
Yeah.
So I'm mad at myself because I can't tell you when it happened, but there was a moment in the match and it was early on. I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I went, crap, Rita's going to win this. Again, it was really early on in the match before everything kind of got out of whack. But I started paying attention and I was like, Rita's going to win this. And sure enough, she did. I
mean, I knew from the very beginning that she was going to win, or not. I obviously didn't know, but I had a strong suspicion she was going to retain. But in the entirety of the match, they kept talking about the strep throat, how cold it was outside, the fever that Becky had. I mean, they were laying it on pretty thick. That right there told me, hey, people don't think that Becky's gonna win, or it was setting up to be like, okay, well, if she loses, there's excuse one and there's excuse two, or not necessarily excuse. That's kind of maybe disrespectful. Reason A and reason B why she lost. She
Right.
was not 100%. I think she did fucking phenomenal in the health state that she was. My only issue was how abrupt the end seemed to come.
Fair
It
enough.
it, it was building, 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 and it didn't really have that climax. It just went straight for the finisher, penned, bam. And that's why
Right.
I said if you watch just that last 5 minutes, they're clearly communicating. I think either Becky realized, okay, I can't keep up. Let's end it early. Or she legitimately got hurt, maybe. And in which case, it's let's end it early. That was such an abrupt stop.
You may very well be right on that, man. I'm not too sure. Real quick, I'm gonna stop the show. I'm drinking the my second beer tonight is gonna be the IPA Texas Ale Project, Texas Blood Orange IPA, bright and juicy.
Oh, that one's a good one.
6.5 alcohol by volume, 40 IBUs. Yeah. So I've only had 3 IPAs ever since starting craft beer about 2 years ago that I've ever really liked. Let's see how it is. Cheers.
Cheers.
I always do the smell test with IPAs. I it's just what I do. I'm stupid. Oh yeah, that's an IPA. Wow. Holy jeez. Okay. That is a punch in the mouth. Super bitter. Holy crap. You definitely taste the citrus. Coming from a guy that likes his sours, man. Oh, anyways, but I'm gonna have to look now because night 1 WrestleMania. Was there any match that really stuck out to you?
I would say maybe the Sami Zayn Gunther
Okay.
from night 1, and night 2 the Drew McIntyre Rollins. I mean, I would say maybe a close second would be the 6-pack tag team. Dude, I called both of those fucking teams to win, man.
I really enjoyed the 6-man tag team match. I knew that R-Truth was going to win it because
fucking R-Truth trying to tag himself in. Did you see this shit?
We got to talk about Monday night last night when John Cena showed
God.
up to wrestle with R-Truth and The Miz.
Oh yeah.
My gosh, that was awesome. But no, man, I really honestly enjoyed that. I hated the fact that Austin Theory and Grayson Waller won, but I get it. They need a heel. They need somebody on a different show to have the tag team title, so I get it. I don't like it. But I think that they're going to end up splitting those guys up in the draft. I think this is going to happen because that's usually what happens, right? So I think that
about Theory and Waller.
Yeah, Theory and Waller. Yeah, I think they're going to end up splitting
possible.
those guys. They did it with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn last year. So
yeah,
I got to be honest, I'm not a fan of this one at all. Not even a little bit. That's rough. I'm going to give you my rating now, 2.
Uh-oh.
And it's only because it's got citrus in it.
Yeah, it's that one is definitely an acquired taste.
It's strong as hell, and it's bleh. But
You know what? I would say try Revolver's Blood Orange. Although I think that's a blonde. I'm not sure. I don't think that's an IPA. But try Revolvers. Theirs is a lot better than the Texas Ale, in my opinion.
Ooh, man. Wow, that's rough. Tastes like a beer orange peel. It's an IPA. You don't like
Good luck.
IPAs. It's bitter.
Damn, I thought she was gonna like.
You gotta swallow it.
I thought she was gonna chuck on camera, man.
No, you didn't even swallow any. I don't want to hear it.
That's not the rules. I'm not having.
I will pour it out right here.
Drink it. Ew.
All right. So, anyways, night one, nothing really off the top of my head. I can't think of any one match that really sticks out, man. To be honest with you, I did like the 6-man tag team match, and night two, Sami Zayn and Gunther were night two, I believe.
They were night one.
No, they were night two.
They were night one. They led into the tag team.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Somebody apparently has to make a lot of noise while he gets ice in his underwear, his PTSDs that have all kinds of sharp marks on them. I really like the Sami Zayn match. I do feel that Sami Zayn is just getting the hell beat out of him every single match because he has to have that come behind victory, which we all like to see, right? But my question is, as much as we like to see it, how long before the crowd gets tired of it? Like, are we going to see Sami Zayn get the shit beat out of him every single week and then come back?
It's the same thing that they try to pull with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
he was the underdog. He wasn't muscular as anybody else in the back, and so it's almost like they're trying to play into that that underdog story kind of thing. I want to know your opinion on what you think about your boy from last night getting a title shot in a few months. Now that Sami Zayn's the champ, he offered your boy Chad Gable a shot when they're in Canada. That's July, bro.
I think I called that last week.
Did you? I genuinely don't remember.
I called that last week when I said if Sammy wins, he's probably going to give Chad Gable title opportunity.
I was reading a lot of people say that if Sammy won, Chad was going to get an opportunity only because he turns.
Possibly.
I hope he does not turn, man.
Yeah, I like this version of Chad Gable that we're getting, but if he turned, I can see it only because he had the match he had with Gunther. He had the match he had with Sammy, and he feels like he's not being recognized. But if Sammy gives him that opportunity, he's being recognized. So there an argument can be made for either way. I could see it, but I wouldn't like it. It's kind of like right now, everybody. We're going to go ahead and just get into it. Night one, Rock, Roman, Seth, Cody.
Which we already knew who was going to win that one.
We knew how that was going to go. Okay. We all saw it coming. We all knew that we all knew if he won, it was going to have to be against Bloodline rules. I'm done with that. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's over with. It happened. Whatever. With Chad Gable,
there is one thing that I want to talk about, though, just real quick. Regarding that.
Go for it.
Okay. And this is off of last night's Raw as well. So now that you I suppose the Roman Reigns Cody rivalry is concluded. My guess, because when Raw started, it was The Rock who came out and for lack of a better word, confronted Cody Rhodes, not Roman Reigns. And before Cody left, he basically said when he's done with his hiatus, he's coming back. They're not done. We don't know how long this hiatus is. So if his rivalry with Roman is seemingly at an end, and we have to wait several months or who knows how long for The Rock to even come back, who is there for who is there for Cody to face? No one was really established because there was the original thought of maybe Jay challenging for the title, but he's now going after Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm.
No one's in line for Cody.
I would say Seth Rollins. We don't really know. I mean, we all have our suspicions, but we don't know. That's a really good question. Could be Bronson Reed. Again, I know people don't want to hear this. Brock Lesnar is actually still active on the roster. So is Sheamus.
Yeah.
So there's two people right there. Again, it hasn't been confirmed. We assume that Seth is going to be out, right? Because of the knee, the back.
Right.
But again, nothing's confirmed. I'm not Dave Meltzer, so we're not going to confirm anything. Now, I want to touch on this real fast because this has been in my head since the start of the show. And if I don't say it now, forget. I gained a lot of respect for Drew McIntyre night 2. I called that match. I knew that Drew was going to win it. And I had a feeling, I don't think I said this on air because I wasn't too sure until night 2. But I had a feeling that Damian Priest was going to cash in. So Drew finally got what he deserved. He got to win the title in front of a live audience, and he did it at WrestleMania. Was it short-lived? Of course it was short-lived. But still, the fact that he can say he got to do that, regardless of the reasons for why or how long, he got to do it. And if you go back and you watch that, there's a specific moment right after he wins. Seth Rollins is looking up at him, and he mouths the words, pardon my French, but this is what he says: "You fucking deserve that."
Yeah, I saw that.
It was just like Seth knew it, the crowd knew it, Drew knew it, everybody in that arena knew it. So I'm a little upset that Damian Priest cashed in his Money in the Bank, but then again, if he didn't do it then, when was he going to do it? This gives Drew McIntyre and CM Punk more time to kind of carry on their rivalry, do their thing until CM Punk gets better and comes back.
Which might be sooner than expected. I mean, considering how he acted in night 2.
Right.
And last night.
And last night. Oh, real quick, back to the Becky Lynch thing. Again, know how my mind works, back and forth like a pinball. Again, not confirmed. This is rumored. Apparently, Becky Lynch's contract is up soon. Don't know if it's in a few months, if it's next year, but soon.
So is Seth.
So, do I think they'll go anywhere else? No, but weirder things have happened, right? I don't think they'll go anywhere. I think they're both happy. I think Seth needs to take some time off. I think Becky needs to take some time off because I don't think they've had like legit family time together as a family with their little one since she was born. Because Seth was off doing his thing, and then she came back, and they've been going at it hard. So I think they just take some time off and then talk about the contracts later. But I I really like the Seth match and the Drew McIntyre match. You mentioned earlier the 6-man tag team match with Street Profits and
lastly,
Lashley and whoever the other people they fought were. I don't remember. Did we see who the special guest referee was?
Bubba.
I was so excited. I was giddy.
I loved it when he took out his glasses.
Yes. And listen, I listened to, we all know this. I listen to Busted Open religiously. I listen to every word that man says because it has weight on it. No, Bubba, that's not a fat joke. Don't come after me. I'm a big guy too. But what he says carries so much weight, and the fact that he was the referee for a tag match. He reminded the wrestlers where their spots were. He made sure the girls were okay when they fell to the table. And then we saw him go flip that switch, go right into character, put them glasses on, and he did the what's up with the guys. We had tables. It was awesome. And I really loved it. It was kind of corny. It was kind of, gimmicky, whatever, but it was still fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's wrestling, for crying out loud, right? So I really liked it. I enjoyed it. Not big on either tag team. Didn't really care for any of them. But
no,
the end result was still kind of cool. I'm trying to think, man. LA Knight, I've said this for weeks. He finally got the win he deserved. And I want to give a shout out. And I know he'll never see this, but AJ Styles, dude, he put over The Undertaker. He put over LA Knight. I think there was somebody else he put over at a WrestleMania as well. So I give credit where credit is due. LA Knight deserves to have a big win soon. Against who? I don't know. What title? I don't know. But he deserves to have. Does he deserve a title? I don't know. But he needs to have a big win soon.
I would love to see him get back involved with the U.S. title.
I'd be all right with that.
Get him, start something up with him and Logan. Have him go after the U.S. title again.
Yeah,
that was a pretty abrupt ending for his run too. When Austin Theory was getting involved and Rey Mysterio, and it was almost like he's like, okay, I don't care about the U.S. title anymore. I'm going after you. Austin Theory, but even that was short-lived.
So we're 37 minutes into the show. And I said I didn't want to bog down the show with the whole thing. We're not going to spend the rest of the time, hour, 30 minutes, however long we go tonight, talking about it. But night 2, we got to talk about it. It went about as expected, right? We had the false covers. We had the near covers. We had the 1-2 kick out, 1-2 kick out. We had all the high emotion, high energy. And then we had the interference. It was Jimmy Uso and Jay came out. It was Solo Sikoa. There was a moment where Solo Sikoa was yelling at Roman. And I want people to remember that. If you don't remember it, go back and watch the match. I think they're going to do something with that. And I think Solo turns on Roman.
He was yelling at him?
Yes. And he was like, cover him, pin him. And he's like, I know. That's what Roman was saying to Solo. I know. He said that like 4 times. I'm telling you now, WWE, Paul Levesque, Triple H, he's a perfectionist. He was dropping mental hints to the fans. I don't think Solo and Roman are, I think there was something there. Now, again, I'm not big on Solo Sikoa's. His wrestling's really good. Okay, he's not my favorite to watch, but his wrestling's good. His mic skills need to work, but hell, I'll tell you what, put me in front of 80,000 people. Let's see how well I do on a mic. I'd suck. So I can't bitch too much about his mic skills. As much as I like Chad Gable, his mic skills are not the best. They're good. They're just not great. But I think Solo has enough potential to get by. Being, coming up with, he had Roman Reigns. He had the Usos with him. Rikishi's his dad, so I mean he knows the business. It's one of those things that takes time, and unfortunately he's going to go through some growing pains. He's going to forget lines and promos. He's going to freeze up. He's going to miss some cues. It's going to happen. Just bear with it. It's a learning process, people. But I think he did really good. And then we saw John Cena come out, and I popped when that happened, man. I was cheering. I was like, oh my God, it's John Cena. And I was so glad that Michael Cole, and big shout out to him, because his 23rd WrestleMania, he's been with the company 27 years.
Wow.
And I remember Michael Cole had the little black goatee, and The Rock would throw the shirt over him, and do his little promo. I thought it was great. But Michael Cole said something that really stuck out to me, and it's been seared into my brain since he said it. Solo Sikoa is the reason John Cena left, because he put John Cena, quote unquote, on the shelf the last time they fought. I think he had a small injury. I don't know what it was, or maybe it was just part of the story. I don't know. But regardless, I didn't remember that.
I remember that he was John Cena's last match, but I didn't realize that's he was gone for that long.
Right. And it was kind of fun to see Cena. Stuff like that I'm okay with. I'm totally okay with it. And bear with me here, because I'm going on this journey, so I have a point to where I'm going with all this. But we saw John Cena come out, and then The Rock's music hit. You have the stare down, and everybody was waiting for Stone Cold. Everybody was waiting for Stone Cold to come out.
Yeah.
And who comes out? The Rock does the rock bottom to Cena. The Rock looks around, grabs his belt. He's fixing to hit Cody. And then we hear the Undertaker's dong. Gong, dong, whatever you want to call it. That place erupted. And again, seeing stuff on social media and seeing fans that are just naysaying about it doesn't make sense. I said this toward the beginning of the show, and it's the title of the show, A New Era. The Triple H era has begun. You saw the Bloodline come out. You saw Jimmy, you saw Jay, you saw Solo, you saw John Cena, you saw The Rock, you saw The Undertaker. Those are all different eras of our wrestling. We all wanted to see Stone Cold, but you're really going to tell me that you're not as happy to see Undertaker as you would have been to see Stone Cold? I think you would have got the same reaction no matter who it was. Out of those two legends, are you kidding me? So people saying that it doesn't make sense. At first, to me, at first glance, it didn't make sense. But when you listen to what they're talking about, a new era, that was literally like 4 eras of wrestling right there. So it makes sense if you really sit back and you think about it. And then, the Undertaker did his thing. He gave a choke slam to The Rock. And either Undertaker's just out of shape or The Rock didn't get enough height, but there was not a whole lot of height to that choke slam. But it was still fun to see. It was just like a few years ago in Dallas when Stone Cold, gave that really sloppy stunner to Vince McMahon. It was still fun to see, and stuff like that I'm okay with. So I didn't look too much into it past that. It was fun. It was very emotional, and then of course, Michael Cole, his infamous words, finish the story 1, 2, 3, new champion Cody Rhodes. You fast forward to Monday night. A very emotional Triple H comes out, calls out Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out, thanks him. They show the promo package that they did. So it was really cool to see all that. And then you get to The Rock coming out. And The Rock is the only wrestler I know that can get a pop like that from the crowd and then get, I'm saying what the crowd said here, so don't hate me. Shut the fuck up. Asshole chance. He got a pop, and then the crowd wouldn't let him talk for 4 minutes. But I have to say, the only thing I didn't like about that, it was 4 minutes of chance, which I'm fine with. I don't have a problem with that part of it. But I felt like that segment just drug on. The Rock wanting to hold the title for some reason or another. They switched titles, and he came out with the title that was given to him at the Hall of Fame. It just, to me, I've tried to think about it. It doesn't make sense to me. I felt like they were going for something, and it just missed. Maybe there was a deeper meaning behind all that. And I didn't see it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's the same It's the same thing months ago when Rock whispered into Cody's ear when Cody seemingly stepped aside. We don't know what they said. Same
Right.
thing, Rock handing Cody whatever the fuck it is he handed.
Well, the
No one
rumors
knows
on
what it is.
the rumors are it was a watch, but we don't know that for sure. We may not ever know until The Rock comes back. I'm not gonna bog down the show with that. I'm not getting into that. But my point is I liked it. I just felt like that segment itself drug on way too long.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, overall, I was really happy with night 2. Night 1, like I said, I don't fully blame any of the wrestlers. There was a lot going on. People were sick. It was cold. The crowd wasn't into it night 1. The entrances this year were kind of weird.
Yeah.
I felt like, so but overall, I mean, I loved it, man. I really did. I enjoyed it. It's the biggest night of the year. It's the Super Bowl for wrestling, and it was a lot of fun to watch and to see it. I've actually gone back and I've watched them night 1 and night 2 again. So yeah. You got anything else to add to any of this?
No.
So I want to break away from that for a minute. We saw Friday Night SmackDown before WrestleMania. We had the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. Toward the end of it, you had Omos, Otis, Ivar. I always forget his name. Bronson Reed. And I've said his name all day so I wouldn't forget it, and I forgot it. Toshiba? What is the little Japanese guy's name with Omos?
I just know that it.
Nakamura? No, not Nakamura. Golly, what is his name?
I can't remember.
Anyways, those were the guys that you had in there, right? And it got me to thinking. You have a bunch of heavyweights. You have Otis, you have Bronson Reed, you have Omos, you have Ivar. You have enough guys. You could make. You remember back in WCW and even WWF, I think did it for a while. You had the cruiserweight division, which basically Eric Bischoff founded, right?
Right.
What if we had a super heavyweight division? Just the biggest brawlers that you can think of. You put Sheamus in there. You can put Ivar, Otis, Omos. Make it fun. Have the little Japanese guy in there for fun, But have a super heavyweight title. Bring back the cruiserweight titles. Let's get a couple more titles in there. And I think what that'll do is that'll give up and coming talent something to aim for, and give us a little more title matches. It's just a thought. I mean, I call it the meat stick belt. I don't know, something, But I really do. I swear this all sounded better in my head before we got on air. I really do think that they need to add another title or two. Is it going to have the same, meaning as say the IC title or the heavyweight championship? No, it's not, but it's another title, and it gives the wrestlers something to aim for.
Yeah, I think if they do that, it needs to be more aimed toward the women's division, though. They only have 2 titles. They have they have 3 really. The main women's titles for both Raw and SmackDown, and then the tag team.
Yeah.
Which, to my understanding, the tag team titles for the women it's just one set, isn't it? It's not divided like it is now.
I think so. So maybe add another tag team title for, say, SmackDown for the women's, and then do, I don't know, call it like the
featherweight division or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that, But I don't know. I feel like, and I know a lot of people are saying, yeah, well, you can make an argument for this title and that title, but if you have a super weight heavy division, you have a lot of big guys in there, and I think you could really make an argument for that. You could have another women's tag team title match, or another tag team titles for SmackDown or Raw. Take your pick, whichever one. But man, I like seeing those big guys because at the end you had Otis and Ivar and Bronson Reed, and if you go back and you watch that Friday Night SmackDown, everybody was pissed when Otis got eliminated. Everybody was mad.
I have an idea for you.
Okay, just hit me with it.
Do you think that they would ever entertain the idea of an interdivision champion? You have powerful, muscular women. You got Nia Jax. You got Jade Cargill now. You have what's her name from TNA that appeared as a cameo in Royal Rumble. I forgot her name.
Jordan something or another.
Something rather. You got Rhea Ripley. You got Bianca Belair. Shit, Becky Lynch has always said she'll go toe-to-toe with anybody from the men's division.
Right.
What if you had, putting Becky aside, I'm talking about the top tier physiques in the women's division, the Jade Cargills, Rhea Ripley, you know what I'm saying? Nia Jax.
Right. No, I hear you.
Have them go, Bronson Reed and maybe Drew McIntyre or something like that. Have it be up. Maybe one time defend the title. It could be woman versus woman. Later on, it could be a man versus man or man and woman. An interdivision title. I think that would shake it up.
So I don't want to get too heavy into this, but I think that's a great idea and I'm all for it. But I think in today's society, it would be frowned upon. And I think that's something that the WWE might steer clear of because you have the whole trans talk and yada, yada, yada. Now,
but they're already doing it to some degree. It's not officially sanctioned matches, but you have women always interfering when it comes to case in point, the fucking 6-man tag team during WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay, they're always getting involved. There's been times in the past where during the women matches, you had guys getting involved, doing little distractions or interactions to kind of, fuck up the flow, but they're already tiptoeing on that line. You know what I mean?
Right.
Fucking open that curtain. Just do it.
I hear you. No, I again, I'm not against it. I think it's a good idea. It'd be kind of tricky to pull off, I think, but I mean, if they do it right, it could be something great. You have Ivy somebody or another. Can't remember her name. If you saw her, you know exactly who I was talking about. She's got the braided blonde hairs. Ivy Nile, I think, is her name.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking.
Yeah. So
you have the Valhalla chick.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that would not be entertaining? Her slapping the shit out of Gunther?
Oh God.
Or something.
But no, man, it was said. I didn't really bring the energy tonight. I thought I was going to have the energy, but I don't. But I really honestly enjoyed WrestleMania, and Friday Night SmackDown was fun. Raw was fun to watch.
I saw highlights.
So I'm curious to see where they're going to go. Who's going to go after Cody next? Eventually, The Rock's going to come back again. But again, they have enough talent. I mean, you have AJ Styles who's out. You have, who's not out, but he lost. You have RKO. You have Seth Rollins when he comes back and he's healthy. You have Gunther. You have enough people. You have Bronson Reed. I'd be okay with a Bronson Reed and Cody match. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, but they haven't set anything like that up though.
Not yet.
Here's the thing: you now have less than a month before Backlash France. Cody's front and center on that promotional poster.
Mm-hmm.
So is Seth Rollins and everything else. Randy Orton's off to the side. Obviously, I think it goes without saying that the first person or anybody to really challenge Cody is going to be a heel.
Yeah. Maybe it's Logan Paul.
They haven't set somebody up yet. They haven't planted those seeds too early. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, okay, real quick. I won't hash about it. I know you don't want to, but just real quick, 1 minute. Okay. So I liked in WrestleMania Night 1, I liked that they planted that seed of a potential friction between The Rock and Roman Reigns when Roman speared The Rock. He looked like he ate a lot of Taco Bell, but they planted that seed. The one thing I was very disappointed in with Night 2, they were back on the same page. It was like they didn't continue on with that seed. There was no other misdirection or miscommunication between the two.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't somebody new that jumped up to join the bloodline, considering WWE just signed Roman Reigns' nephew. You know what I mean?
Right.
So do you think where do you think bloodline goes from here? Not talking about Roman Reigns or anything, but I'm talking about just the overall. Do you think they'll make Solo or Solo Sikoa a solo act?
I could see that.
Really?
Yeah.
What about Jimmy? Because I was hoping he was going to turn, man. I was kind of hoping it was going to be a little kumbaya moment at the very end, and we were going to get the Usos again. But I mean, I don't know.
You got me on that, man. I don't know. I really don't. I'm sorry. I'm looking for a picture that I posted earlier on our website and on our Facebook page, and I can't find it. So if I seem like I'm not here, I am. I'm just trying to. I think Solo could do his own thing. I think he will. You talk about Roman Reigns. Let's talk about him for a minute. If you noticed last night when Cody came out, Cody was talking about Roman Reigns, and they cheered for Roman Reigns. So I think you potentially could have Roman Reigns come back as a babyface, and then that sets up a babyface versus babyface.
True.
I cannot find that picture, and it's driving me nuts.
There is one other thing I want to get your opinion on, though.
Okay.
So I found it really, really odd. And I saw someone else talking about it online, and I knew I wasn't losing my mind. But at the very end of Raw, when you had, what's his name, Bronson Reed talking, it was a little slow music, and then the video flickered.
Uncle Howdy.
I saw that documentary earlier too.
Yep.
And then when I saw that from Raw, I'm like, holy shit, are they really going to try and do this? I mean, what are your thoughts?
They have talked about bringing him back. So I don't see it being completely out of question. I think it's very possible.
I I just don't know how they would do it though, because the Uncle Howdy character was pretty synonymous with Bray Wyatt and the Fiend. You don't have the Firefly Funhouse anymore. Unfortunately, you know, Luke Harper is no longer with us. Bray Wyatt is no longer with us. Braun Strowman is off doing his own thing, and I don't know what the hell happened with the other guy. So what would Uncle Howdy really represent if they brought him back?
Chaos. Maybe he doesn't have. I mean, you think about Bray
So he would
Wyatt.
basically serve as like a Bray Wyatt 2.0 kind of thing.
Right. He would be chaos. Maybe he feuds with RKO. Maybe he feuds with Gunther. Maybe he feuds with Cody for a while. Maybe he feuds with Shinsuke Nakamura. Maybe he feuds with Sami Zayn, KO, AJ Styles, LA Knight. How great would that be? The last person to have a match with Bray Wyatt was LA Knight. So if you look, you've got LA Knight and Uncle Howdy facing each other.
True. Yeah.
I mean, and how I always talk about this, the psychology of it. How great would it be for LA Knight to be fighting Uncle Howdy? He rips the face mask off of Uncle Howdy and he thinks he sees a ghost. When he sees Bo Dallas, it's almost like looking at Bray Wyatt because they're brothers. Again, do they really look alike? No, but it's that, holy crap, this is Bray Wyatt 2.0 here.
Yeah.
So there's some different ways you could go with it, some different things you can do with it, I think, and it would be fun. Maybe he serves as like, kind of like the Shield did. They were just there to, pardon my French, fuck shit up. So that's something else that they could do.
I'm curious as to when, like, what pay-per-view that they will use the opportunity to bring him back. They're gonna tease it subtly, on the shows, but something that massive, I think they're gonna wait for a pay-per-view to do.
They could do a pay-per-view, or maybe do it like near Bray Wyatt's hometown. Maybe do it near Bo Dallas's hometown. Maybe do it at SummerSlam. Hell in a Cell. I mean, there's a few different ways you can go with it. And again, maybe it's just for pure chaos factor.
True. Yeah, because I'm looking at the schedule. You've got France, then Saudi Arabia. You've got Battleground in Nevada. Then they go to Scotland, Canada, Ohio for SummerSlam in August, and then Germany. So it's like maybe September, the second half of the year.
Possibly. Well, and here's something you have to think about as not necessarily a wrestling fan, but just think about it from a business aspect, right? When is Bo Dallas going to feel comfortable with coming back to the ring? Because at one point he was done with wrestling. He didn't want to wrestle anymore. And he knows how emotional it's going to be when he gets that pop, when he comes out in that Uncle Howdy. So think beyond the mask, think beyond the character of Uncle Howdy. When is Bo Dallas going to be ready?
True. Yeah.
So, but man, there was so much to digest tonight, and I know we bounced all over the place. We didn't even cover the Rey Mysterio match with Jason Kelsey coming out, and the luchador mask, which I thought was just awesome. The guy's getting to live out his dreams, man. That's awesome. Got to come out in Philly too, so that was pretty cool. They had a jam-packed house. They had T-Pain was there. They had Lil Wayne, Snoop Dogg. What's that douchebag tight end from San Francisco?
Rob? Oh no, Kittle.
George Kittle. Yeah. So it was a jam-packed house. It was fun to watch. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to think about. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with Cody Rhodes now. Part of me is a little worried because it's like, okay, he finished the story. Now what? You had that very weird interaction with him and The Rock. Like you said earlier, who's going to go after him? And I think they'll do a tournament of some sort. Maybe another feud will start up. something to think about. Going back to Uncle Howdy, what if Uncle Howdy comes out and starts attacking Cody Rhodes? We don't know who it is. It's just somebody keeps attacking Cody Rhodes, and he does this for a month, 2 months, and then finally at one of the pay-per-views, Uncle Howdy comes out.
That'd be nice.
Something to think about. You know, like I said, there's a million different ways they can go. It's just a matter of keeping it fresh. With Triple H at the helm, I really, honestly, I'm really excited. A lot of new faces, a lot of new ideas. So I can't wait to see where this goes in another 6 months. It's just, you know, you had a story that went on for 2 years, and you finally got that finish everybody wanted, and now it's on to bigger and better things. It's one of those things where when you make it to the top, you got to stay on the top, right? So, fun little side note in other wrestling news. I know we don't really cover AEW here, but tomorrow night, Dustin Rhodes is going to be challenging a guy by the name of Samoa Joe for that heavyweight championship match tomorrow night.
That'd be interesting to watch.
Coincidence much? Just saying. Bloodline 2.0, maybe. So,
I would love to see Dustin come back though.
Right, he was at WrestleMania, but he did not make an appearance. But he was there to watch his brother win it. So, I'm sure a special night for them. I think he wanted to kind of stay out of the spotlight. Maybe he had to because of contract reasons. I don't know. In other news, again, just this is a rumor. I shouldn't say news. Another rumor that I've been reading up on, and there's been quite a few pages that were talking about this. If you remember a few years ago, Roman Reigns actually had leukemia.
Right.
And everybody talks about, well, he only defended the title 31 times or this, that, and the other. It's been rumored that he might have leukemia again because he's been spotted getting chemo treatments. So that might have been one of the big reasons they finally decided to pull the trigger with Cody Rhodes. We don't know that. Yeah. It's just a rumor, but a lot of places are reporting that. So keep your eye on that news as well. So
if that's the case, though, I don't see him waiting too long to be silent on that. I think he kind of addressed it real quick, just like he did last time.
Well, I think what they did was they let Cody have his night at Monday Night Raw. Maybe they do it this week on SmackDown. Maybe they do it next week on SmackDown. Give him some time to, recover and kind of rest up a little bit before he comes out and makes that emotional speech. Again, these are all rumors. This is nothing for sure. This is just it could just be, dude, I'm tired. I've helped carry this company for the past 3 years, and I'm exhausted. I need a break. Maybe he comes back and him and Solo go at it. I don't know. But you're yawning. I'm yawning. I'm exhausted.
I had no sleep because of that storm last night, dude.
Oh, dude. Now we've got
it nearly flooded our living room. I woke up and the mat that we have by the sliding door was just drenched.
Oh God.
Yeah. But I need to go to the store and get some gutters sometime this weekend. Install them.
Carter's got his knee surgery in the morning, so we're gearing up for that.
Oh. What time?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. That's around the time that Mama Bruce is going into surgery herself.
Oh.
Yeah, she fell not too long ago. Actually, broke her hip. So yeah, she did a CT scan on Monday, I think it was, or maybe it was on Friday. I forgot when she did it. But they were doing a CT scan to see. So long story short, so she does dialysis treatment like 2-3 times a week, and she slipped and fell at the end of one of her treatments with my sister, and she busted up her ankle really, really bad.
Oof.
And she was also complaining about her hip, but it was also the belief, okay, it was just sore, like whatever else. So she went to the doctor to get the ankle looked at, and then also made a mention about the hip. And they're like, well, the way you're describing it and what we're doing with it, we think you broke your hip. They're like, you just
Oof.
sprained your ankle, but you broke your hip.
Ouch.
They did a CT scan. I believe it was yesterday or Friday. I forgot what work day it was, but they said, yeah, you broke it. So now it's a matter of she's doing surgery tomorrow, but they don't know if they are going to keep her in the hospital for like the 6 to 8 weeks, do rehab there, or if they're going to send her home after the surgery and her do at home PT.
Oh, wow.
Fun stuff, man.
Well, good thoughts, positive vibes, prayers, all that good stuff. But
Yup. Car
we'll-
too.
we'll try to keep everybody updated. I'm trying to get better at the posting stuff. I know I sucked this weekend, but a lot going on, man. And this past weekend I'm beat. I know, shame on me. But man, this was a fun show. Some okay beers. I wasn't really happy with the IPA, but the Shiner Peaches, it's okay. I'll give it a 2.75, I guess. But yeah, man. Stay tuned and stay interested. A lot of good things to come. Like I said, I'm really excited to see where Triple H takes things. But I'm gonna go sleep.
I want to sleep.
Or play Diablo. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Oh,
All right, guys. As always, I'm Whiskey.
Bruce.
Peace.